A very good evening and thank you for joining us for the show tonight. And tonight we are speaking to Apollo Mboa, who is a customer financial advisor at the National Social Security Fund. And we'll be speaking about money and children. How do you teach your children to start treating money right, to save or to start investing, starting them off with the right habits so that hopefully they can carry them forward for the rest of their lives. Apollo, it's good to have you on the show. Thank you so much for taking the time to come and share with us these insights.
Thank you, Josephine.
You are wearing, I don't know if it's the wrong or the right shirt for the right shirt maybe for the conversation. I'm not sure how you walk around town safely in that particular shirt at the moment. Should we be talking about our 20% for the 45-year age bracket?
For tonight, we will not be talking about that 20%. It is with the president, it is with the parliament, and there is a statement out there. We'll wait what comes out of it. Today, I want us to talk about
children
money.
And money, yes. So let's get into it. And I want us to start from the parents' side, because really they are the ones who are, I don't know, setting the example or teaching the children. Let's start from there, Apollo.
Yes. Josephine, before we dive into this, we need to give these disclaimers. Sometimes we are purported out there as money experts. I want to just put this on record that there is nothing like a money expert. Money has no expert, but you can become a master of money. My field is more of personal finance, and the the biggest expert about your personal finance is yourself. So I'll be sharing a few insights here and there, but the audience remains their best expert. So they need to pull out what they can do
works
for themselves,
what
works for them. Children and money. Josephine, you will also realize that unless you are born in a really poor family or very destitute, but before a child makes 1 year, they would have held some money, some form of money. When you have a child, you are in Nakasero, you are in Chirudu, your first visitor will not even touch the child unless they have a coin on them. They will give the child money. So children begin handling money, or humans begin handling money before they even make 1 year. This money conversation needs to happen on that time. Money needs to come out. We need to demystify. Money is not. Yeah. It's not alien. It's not out there. It is within us. And the earlier you start that journey to demystify money, because guess what? The majority of our life we work for money, and we never get to work. We never get money to work for us. Why? Because we never got enough education about money.
It's a good thing you're spending the time to talk to us about this, and also the classes that I know you run on money.
There is that lacking gap. So you go through school being told, go study, then go and get money. But no one tells you when you get money, then what? So we need to now come back to the basics. We need to have that conversation early. And it's not NSSF's responsibility. We need to bring it to the table. We need to bring it back in the dining room, in the sitting room, and then let's talk about money with our children. So today I'm happy to probably just hint on a few things, a few pointers that pertain money and parents. There is a new time we are coining financial parenting. If you have been doing spiritual parenting, you've been doing mentoring, parenting, whatever parenting, now you need to add on a new heart, financial parenting, because you want your children to succeed in life. They're going to be discussing money at the workplace. You need to bring those conversations at home, so that when let me give you an example, Josephine, and apologies, I'm just digressing, but one of my interviews, I got coaching from my wife. It was, I think, my third job, and she told me, Apollo, you now know your value. When you go in there, be brave and ask them for 1 million net. 1 million net then was a very huge thing. A very huge thing. Guys, don't try to count my age, but then it was a very huge thing. And she told me, be bold. And she kept asking, what are I telling them? 1 million net. So I reached the boardroom, I impressed them, I dazzle them, I model these things, I model that, and then the money conversation came in. How much do you want?
Everybody hates that question.
And it's like they have poured what on you. You've really excelled on the things you learned in school, and now they're asking you how much money. So I told them, I remembered, my wife told me 1 million. and she's the money person at home. So I told her, I want $1 million.
Net.
I told them I want $1 million, and I was brave. Then they asked, how much? I said, $1 million. And then they asked, how much again? At that point, I froze. I had to go down and say them $1 million gross. What that shows you is I had no confidence in a money conversation. Everything else I could do, everything we talked and I did with them, but when it came to a money conversation, I had to retort. Long story short, I was given $2 million gross. So I didn't know my own value. Why? Because we've grown up in an environment, I don't want to say I have grown up, but let me generalize, but we've grown up in environments where they're saying, money, don't bring money discussions. When you start talking about money, when I go limubi, allow me to use French, limubi go, you get a kubya sente. Money conversation they are synonymous to being a thief. But if we start bring out this in the open, probably people will not start relating money to stealing. And ask yourself, Josephine, why is it that people go into the workplace and one of their alternative sources of income is how they can defraud from the institution? Because that while you keep telling them, don't talk about money, it's for thieves. So when there is a place where they have to talk about money, they have to go into the shell of the thief to defraud the institution for them to get. So financial parenting, it's a very key thing in all the aspects. As you bring up your child, you need to expose them to money. When you go to one of those big schools, you'll find a canteen picks about 4 million every day. That is money coming from children. 4 million. I mean, there are adults out there who have annual turnover of 4 million. So these discussions we need to have, because these children are in the economy and we need to have this.
Where does it start from? Does it start from the parent right before? We have antenatal classes, we have all of these classes before that. Where should these conversations on you're going to have a child or you have a child, this is how you start to prepare them to handle money?
The conversation should start from the baby shower. That's one topic. Barbara Katende, one of the authors of Money Cure, has a tool. This time when you are going to take Pampers, whatever you're going to take for people, the baby shower or conception shower, take them those bits. Start talking about money even before the child comes on board. Before that child comes into this life, that's when the money conversation should start. And when they are at Nakasero and you are picking them up from wherever you're picking them up and you're holding them, then you need to start having this conversation. Which school are they going to go to? How am I going to pay for that school? If you have those conversations with yourself, you need to put them into action. That's when things will change. I was talking to Biargaba, was addressing MD Biargaba was addressing one of our webinars, and it was about financial parenting. And he shared with us a story. He started putting aside 100,000 for the daughter, 2 daughters, each of them 100,000 from that day when they were one year. And he has consistently done that for the last 20 years.
100,000 per month.
100,000 per month.
If I can't afford 100,000 per month.
If you first, let's say you are earning $1 million, just take off a portion. Do ratios, do percentages. Josephine probably needs to do $1 million per month. And when you see her doing $1 million per month, do not start modeling next to her. Just you go do your 200, or you do your 10,000. You can put aside that. Now, you're beginning the conversation by putting aside this money. That's action. You putting aside money is not all of it, because you are now preparing for your child. As we go on, we will talk about have you prepared them, because you will also you will end up foregoing a few things. 100,000 can get me a good meal at Serena, so you are foregone that. But then the child will not appreciate if you do not prepare them. So at a certain age, you need to actually get them involved. They need to see you putting that 100,000. They need to become your accountability partners, and they start asking, Daddy, have you put money on the account? They need to understand what that money does. kids lately would usually have these conversations at 10 years, but at 5, 6 years, they're already comprehending things and they're asking questions. Move with them to the bank. Put money in the piggy bank and let them go deposit. Now you are inculcating habits. They're seeing this is backed by action. And please, because you are the signatory to this account, don't let them put and then you withdraw. They put and you withdraw. Always these accounts become our emergency accounts and you keep saying they are my children. But you need to develop the habit of consistency. So this money conversation needs to start right from the baby shower. When you come in, I have a friend who doesn't have children, has not even found a wife, but has been doing an education fund for his children to be for the last 5 years.
Wow.
I mean, so then there is another one who is family planting. Every year he's planting a family here and there and has never done anything. And then they will say, every child comes with a blessing. Children are wealth. You can never take your child to a supermarket and you get out with spaghetti. Yes, they are wealth, they are precious, but they are not a medium of exchange. So you need to prepare that medium of exchange.
Apollo, let's take our first break and we'll be right back.
Thank you.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. In the studio with me is Apollo Mboa, who is a customer financial advisor at the National Social Security Fund, and he's here to share with us from his own perspective, but also from the perspective of the fund on, starting children off right with the right habits and teaching them how to treat money right. Apollo, when we speak about it starting with the parents, so we're speaking about right from the baby shower, and some of your friends you mentioned are starting even before they have children. What are we not doing right?
Modeling. How are we modeling to our children? Things to do with money. When a money conversation comes up did you know one of the most heated arguments in a household is about money? When the wife asks about the money, all of a sudden the husband is remembering how ugly this woman is, how she's ungrateful, how this woman asks for everything. So money becomes a huge thing. And remember, children are visual. They are watching and they are picking, they are learning from you. So for them, they are getting the bit that things to do with money, this gender should not discuss, or this gender is the weaker one. So you're already modeling to your children. So you need to start, what are we doing wrong is how we are modeling ourselves to our children about
I think
money.
One of the loudest conversations the children listen to is school fees.
So issues to do with school fees, it's yours. You're not doing them a favor. It's your responsibility. So every time we get to the child, the child, they bring out the list at school and they are saying, these ones, school fees defaulters, go. It is already impairing on their confidence. They feel like they are in the lack. So what we are doing wrong is we are not setting good examples. We are not making good examples out of ourselves to our children. And they are watching everything I do. Like, they see you quarreling about money, quarreling about yaka, quarreling about water, quarreling about food.
Rent.
They rent. They see you quarreling with the landlord, and they are wondering. They start. You start telling them how you walked. You used to walk. You were barefoot. But there is a popular popular saying which goes around that it's not your problem that you are poor. You were born in a poor family. It's not your problem. You had no choice. But it's your problem if a poor family comes from you. So we need to model to our children sufficiency. We need to model to our children ability. We need to model to our children that money is a tool.
You said we should start from baby showers or even earlier. And I'm thinking, for a lot of people who are watching, they already have children. The children are 4, 5, 6, 7 years or so, or 3 years or whatever. Where do they start from now? We have piggy banks, the presents that we're giving children, our friends' children are piggy banks. Is that sufficient? what should they start thinking about actively?
One thing about that I've learned with parenting, I'm also a rookie parent, is there is no one bullet.
Size fits all.
Yeah. And what is sufficient, you may not get a straight answer. And if I am far this long, 10 years into my parenting, I haven't done anything, oh, I'm doomed. No, you are not. Just start. The next best time to start is now. Maybe you should have started at the baby shower. You didn't, but the next best time is now. And where do you start from? Unfortunately, when we talk about financial parenting, people will run to the piggy banks. They will run to the child account. They will run to the EduSave. They will run to all that. But none of that is as important as preparing the child themselves. Josephine, even if your parent does not leave you with money, but they have prepared you to earn money, and I'm not talking about just education, but they have prepared you in earning money, you will be able to get as much money as you want. You do not need to start from your father's money. So you as a parent, actually stop. Did you know that right now we have 5-year-olds who have apartments? We have 5-year-olds who are owning land. Like a parent is taking a loan to buy some land for my child. And that parent themselves has not achieved full financial independence, but they're already killing themselves over a child. And the bit is what we are doing as I have a group of friends that for them they are looking at the children of the rich, of the wealthy, and they are saying, let the wealthy people buy these things for these children, so that when they die, these children can sell us these things. What are people doing? They are preparing for their children,
but
not preparing them. And how do we prepare? We are modeling them. We are modeling for them. We are having money discussions on a routine basis. We are giving them the confidence that money is a tool. You do not, I mean, I work for money right now, but I don't have to work for money for the rest of my life. I need to reach a point when money can work for me. So you need to give them the ability that you can actually work for money. You can actually have money work for you. You give them the ability that you can actually, you see, those are kids there. You may not have one, but you can have a development that is relative to this in a different area. But most of us are saying, you need to possess a plot in town. No, let's show them alternatives. Let's put a lot of emphasis on preparing these children. Let them have a good attitude towards work. Let them have skills. That is how you are preparing them for money. In that, even when you die and you have left them a huge chunk, and then they will just look at it as a tool for them to make more money, not as a pool. I'm now eating my grandfather's money.
I think, Apollo, that one of the problems is the expectation that we are going to teach our children about money when we also don't know the basics of money.
True.
We just know, go to work every day, make money, put it in the account, or NSSF is going to take its cut. We don't really have financial literacy, intelligence. How do we actively start teaching children about money? And what does that conversation look like? I have a 5-year-old. What am I talking to him about? How do I start to say, how do I start a conversation on money?
I think we go back to where you started from. Can we also teach ourselves? Can we empower ourselves about this subject? Because of course you can never teach what you don't know. Take off time, there's so many. You have a WhatsApp phone. That same WhatsApp phone has so many groups where at least a discussion of money comes in. Radio stations, radio programs, there are so many. We all of us would want to tune into a comedy show or something, but take off time, be intentional about it. You need to be. This money subject is very wide. I can tell you there is no one expert. 2 years ago, there was a fellowship I attended. There was Dr. Suruma. Dr. Suruma has a doctorate in economics, and at one time he was at Bank of Uganda. He was in charge of printing money. This is a knowledgeable person. And he was telling us that when it comes to personal finance, when it comes to home economics, the economics of the home, I go to my wife. So with all his doctorates, he is able to know that I have challenges here. The price of passion fruits, I don't know. Personally, every time I try to buy things from the market in the guise of saving, when I reach home, they will laugh at me. I always bring the rotten one. I always bring the the wrong breed. Then you are buying guavas and they have given you mangoes instead. I am not making progress there. But my wife, with half the budget I have used, will bring everything. So I lack that bit. So I look for a partner. Luckily, I have a partner who is. But if I didn't, then I would need to go and seek that education. So let's be intentional about ourselves, skilling ourselves, and getting ourselves educated about this aspect of money.
What does a lesson for you to a child look like when you're telling them about money?
One, money is should be a daily conversation. It's not, don't lesson plan yourselves and say, today we are talking about cents, tomorrow we are talking about coins, the next day we are talking about paper money. Then we are talking about fiat money, we are talking about the evolution of money. No, it's a daily thing. It's modeling. It is the words you are saying. It is how you react when there is no sugar. It is the conversation. The house girl is asking you for sugar and you are exploding just because of money. You are throwing money to them. That's what they are picking. It is how you choose to remunerate your children. There's a concept of parents remunerating for chores. There is no right way, but you need to understand, if I'm remunerating them for doing housework, you need to have that conversation. While you are remunerating them, why am I remunerating them? Get the why. Don't just bribe them, because it may turn into bribing. So whatever they need to do, this is the person you will have in office. They need to be in office, but you need to give them a bribe for them to be in office, because they got bribed right through. Let's go to school. A sweet, as in they are supposed to go to school, and you're bribing them. And also be truthful. One of the other things I've learned about these children is they understand. Don't lie. Don't lie to them that I will give you this, and it's not in your ability to give it to them. They will become demotivated. They will start thinking that everyone who promises, if I am to do something good for a reward, that person will not give me. So I need to look out for another way of how I can defraud them. So what does a lesson look like? A lesson, it's daily. It is in every aspect. We have quite a number of conversations with my children, and sometimes you want to run out of the room because they ask. We're constructing the house I live in right now, and we would tell them we have to save some money. So you would buy meat for Sunday, and then they start asking you, why are you buying meat when we are building? Doesn't it cost a lot of money? So here you are saying, should I tell them that it costs less? But if I tell them it costs less, they will be asking for the meat. Yeah. If I tell them it costs more, but then we have to reward ourselves, you need to craft it. So, and whichever answer you give gives rise to another question. When the lockdown came and the people are saying no money, and they keep hearing the conversations, radio, everything, and they're asking, so Daddy, where are you getting any money? Where you spend the whole day at work? I see. Is that hard work when you are talking to the computer all day, or you are watching videos? So you need to tell them that, by the way, I am using a skill and it is getting me money even without leaving this. So when you grow up, you need to also look for things where you can. So it's a daily conversation, and you need to form a learning opportunity, teaching opportunity for everything. Recently, they were playing in the sand. My wife doesn't allow them to play in the dust, but they found sand and they were so happy. They were building, and they were saying, no, we can't build. We were not roofing. We can't use they were using boxes. We can't roof like this. We need to put a flat roof. It will save us. And I realized that was the conversation I was having when I was building my house. So they understand that let's do 3 rooms and then go up. It will also save on that. So and when I had them, I felt so proud. I came in. I even bought them these things, and then I felt like I was making progress. Then other days they say things, and I say, Apple, what's happening to you? You are one of the worst parents. But at any one time, you just pick it up and make a conversation out of it.
Modeling, I think that reminded me of, I think, something I don't know if where I read it, but somebody said when you are doing something right or something that you think is right, make sure your children are watching, because that's where they're going to pick it from.
Definitely.
So that's a really great example. Let's take another short break and we'll be right back. Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. I'm speaking to Apollo Mboa, who is speaking to us about financial parenting. Apollo, you said something earlier that different things work for different parents and work in different homes. So we spoke to some parents and asked them to share with us what's working for them in the way they are teaching their children how to relate with money. So let's listen to what they had to say.
I introduced my son to saving when he was 2 years old, and I made the journey very, very exciting for him. First of all, we got for him a piggy bank that was really attractive, something similar to his toys. This is the pig bank we bought then. Then we introduced him to the money. We would get the money. Of course, we didn't have the adult money conversation with the 2-year-old, but we would get the money and drop it in the pig bank. And we did this in phases. So the first phase, which took almost a week, together as a family, my husband and I and my son, we would get the money, get excited about it, walk to the piggy bank and drop in the coins. We call him, we give him the coins and ask him to take it to the pig bank. You do that for like a week. And then the third week, you just leave the money somewhere, somewhere where he can see it, in his spaces where he's playing from. And when he notices, what does he do with the money? Does he take it to the pig bank or he plays with it? If he takes it to the pig bank, get excited. He has got the lesson. If he plays with the money, then you need to go back to phase 1 of doing it together as a family.
You will come and tell me, oh, Daddy, I'd like to get myself this or this. And I say, okay, fine. What you're going to do is you're going to work and earn towards this goal. All right. So I've already been in the habit of rewarding the girls for the nice little things that they do as children. 500 shillings there, 1,000 shillings there. If you've really made me happy, like a 5,000 there. But what we're doing is each of them has a piggy bank, and you say, oh, Daddy, I wanted to get myself this for Christmas. Fine. Here is your money. You could use it for now and get yourself a sweet or two or something, I don't know, some juice, biscuits or wafers or whatever. Or you could put that away and build towards your goal of getting yourself that Christmas gift, okay? So delayed gratification by way of saving is the way that I am teaching them the very first facet of financial discipline.
My husband and I constantly talk to the kids about saving to help them understand what it is for. Like when we give them 1,000 shillings to put away in their piggy bank, we don't just give it to them. So usually kids want something and they want it now. It's for now, for today, Mama. I want this, I want it now. I want ice cream, I want candy, I want this, I want that. And they don't have the patience of waiting for another day, right? So when we give these kids the money, we try to explain to them that this money, if kept, will help us buy your big toy, for example, that you've always wanted, that Mama doesn't have the money to buy, like your bike or your big monster truck or whatever it is that your child desires. So the constant conversation with the child of this is why we need to save. This is the benefits of saving, or these are, the good things that we're going to get out of saving. I find that has helped us a lot to really instill this idea in the minds of our two boys. Parents, one, speak to your children about saving. It doesn't matter how young they are. They really, really understand. And the more you speak about it, the more conversations you have, the more they understand as they grow. And then 2, lead by example, do it with them. They will love the idea more. Then 3, make it so much fun. Hype the idea. Look forward to the moment when you're going to open that piggy bank and count all the money and go buy the nice stuff and remind them that this money came from your savings. And then 4, keep it consistent. When you start, do not stop.
It has been interesting to teach her at that young age money management and also that there are rewards for saving. For instance, when she does chores, we pay her between 500 to 1,000 shillings. And some of these chores including polishing shoes, helping with washing the dishes, helping with cleaning up the house. Also, some of the money that she has saved up comes from when the tooth fairy visits or when some of her aunties come to visit. It's been interesting because at the time she was just saving money and she didn't have a goal, like a reason as to why she was really saving the money until she said she wanted a piano for her birthday. So we agreed that instead of us spending money to buy a piano, that she would save for it. And when the time came around, we topped up the difference, and she was really, really happy for that. The other thing that we have also ensured that she does is understand that money is kept somewhere. It doesn't grow on trees, it's kept in a bank. So at the end of the month, when she has collected her 500, 1,000, 2,000 shillings, we make a trip to the bank and then she puts it on her bank account. Some of the tips that have really worked for us is to be consistent. To be consistent, to start small.
I know you touched a bit on this, but it looks like most of us, what we're doing is putting an incentive, you know, to get the children to actively participate, or even just understand that they can be rewards for doing certain things, not necessarily household chores, but other things that wouldn't be their responsibility. So I wanted us to speak about habits. The habits that the children pick up as they grow and how they eventually affect them, and the way they handle money as they grow older.
Yeah. Thank you, Josephine. Just to hint a bit on the remuneration, I think one of the things that, and again I will give a full disclaimer because all families are unique. There are families where washing utensils is a huge thing. It's a huge thing. Like if a child does it, it's really huge. Like in their setting, they have grown up, they have never done that. So if the child comes down to do it, it's actually an initiative. It is counted as an initiative. Then there are families where that's their role. You wake up, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, even bring food, bring tea for the parent. So depending on which setting you have, you can determine which roles to remunerate. And also, but make sure, one of the things I think could give you a good guiding point is have a discussion with them and say, I can give you some money, but what is it that you can do for them? And let them identify. There are things which you pay other people to do, and they can identify, can I do that? Like washing a car. Sometimes, like, I don't want my children to hear this, but washing a car is now their responsibility, non-remunerated. They need to. Maybe they will, if they come up with, maybe I will work on the engine. I will remunerate. But as I've said, different families will remunerate different things, depending on that whole setting. But coming to habits, wealth is 95% habits. 5% money. Unfortunately, we concentrate a lot of our efforts on the money and none on the habits. But habits, one, they are free, but they are quite expensive. A habit of honesty, people being in the habit of being honest, a habit of timeliness, a habit of self-management. It is you that is failing to manage. So these habits, things of integrity, confidence, these are attributes, but you have to make it a habit to build them. Hard work. These are, even if you place a person with no money and you place them in the world and they have mastered these, they will attract the money. Because guess what? The person without a habit, you will pay them 100 million and they will look for these people to give them the money. Right now, people are paid the salary and they will go to a betting shop to look for Thierry Henry in the UK to bet on him. So they are giving him some money. They are giving UK some money. And UK has already, the Premier League, they are buying jerseys, sending the money back to the owners. So you have been given the money, but because you don't have the habit, you will send it directly back to the owner. You will go to the bar and you will say, no, this money belongs to Nile Breweries. You will load your phone with 100,000 airtime so that you can also get data, and so that you can check on the latest video of Spice or whoever is going on. So you say, yes, I've been given this 100,000, but MTN has quite a good system. They have good habits. Let me give back this money to MTN. It doesn't belong to me. So you need to create habits where you will attract money. So MTN, every morning, actually, Josephine, when you lose your phone, you will go report yourself to the police. Because you are so fearful of your boss, MTN, that you are not making money for them that day. So you need to have a police letter. So that if MTN comes to you, you will say, no, I even have a police letter, but I'm going to pick some money from my other sources. I will get a small phone so that I can keep making you money. Because of the habits. So when you have the habits, which is 95%, money is just 5%. The money will work for you. Honesty. I mean, not everyone is honest. You know, there are people you do not want to deal with. I don't want to get in there, but there are some people, there are some sections of people you will never want to deal with, even when you are part of them. Let's say you are all men, but then say, for me, if I'm to do a business, I'll do with ladies. But you are all men because of their habits. So that goes back to preparing. As you prepare for your children, as you prepare them, you are giving them the habits.
Integrity, honesty.
Yes, honesty.
All of that.
Look at, allow me to use the French. Empisa, nemize. Empisa is a good thing. Emize is the bad habits. English is not that rich, but people need to get good habits. And wherever they can find them, they will capitalize on that.
The last thing I want us to speak about, and we shared about this in the break, was stingy versus abundance. To close our conversation today, let's talk about that. Well, you talk, I'm listening.
Yes. Stingy. How do you demarcate your life between stingy, just being stingy, and being frugal? I mean, you are a man of resources, and your family is feasting on portion. I mean, you need to draw a line where you are just becoming stingy, and then you need to go back to your objective. Stingy comes out of not having a proper objective. So for you, whenever you see money leaving, you think it is leaving you. What is the objective in your life? What's your life purpose? Because you're amassing money, you are saving money, but then you need to know for what. We keep talking about save, but for what? If you don't have that answer, please eat your money. First, understand what you are saving for. Otherwise, you are just postponing consumption. And being stingy. And right now, with this whole movement we are doing of financial literacy, we have given men a motto. When they are asked for food, for the basics at home, they say, financial literacy, we cannot be eating 3 times a day. We cannot. You are just being stingy.
You know, when you speak about that, I know people who have said, I do not want to be my father. You know, because their parents were stingy. Usually it's the fathers were very stingy, and so now they spend as though you know.
Actually, you may also trigger the opposite of what you want to bring out. So you are trying to be a model. Actually, you're not trying. Whatever you are doing, you're already a model of this person. You're modeling for this person. So they will choose which side to go to. You're a man of means, but you walk. You're not walking for health purposes. You're not drinking water for health purposes. You're picking it out of the menu. It's the cheapest. And then you give 50,000 and you say you want all your balance back with the coins. Stingy. I mean, I don't want to over encourage this, because sometimes people just pick that and they say, Apollo said eat your money. But you need to understand, you need to know how to eat your money. Because when it goes back to the bit, when you are able to eat your money, you are able to inspire people into working hard. And they say, if I work hard, actually I can eat this money. As I wind up, you cannot blame someone for driving a Lamborghini when their net worth is 4 billion. They have just picked a little of their money just to drive a Lamborghini. But then there is another one who will drive a Subaru. Their net worth is 50. As in, the Subaru is the biggest thing.
I really don't know why you're using the Subaru.
Okay, sorry. I don't know so many cars. A Prado. Because a Prado is a bit out of reach for the people driving Subarus. Apologies. Back to you, Josephine.
No, it's all right. Continue with the example of a
Yes.
Subaru.
So it's all about what you are able to live within means. And when you proportion your life, I mean, when Sudil does a 2 billion wedding that we are saying, he's just speaking from $1 billion. We should blame him for having spent so little. But then when you see him and for you, all you are is 100 million, do not try to throw the same wedding.
Do a 7-day wedding.
No, you don't. You come down and you say, and you come up with this formula and say, no, for me, I will do my wedding of 5 million. And I'll do it in lockdown. And I will not even invite the priest. It's just being relative.
Apollo, final thoughts. What would you want us to take home from this conversation?
Prepare your children. Don't kill yourself preparing for them. Just prepare your children. When you prepare your children, not only will they come and take care of you, because we all want our children to take care of that.
We're trying to run away from black tax.
Yeah, but when you prepare, you will prepare for yourself, you will be able to take care of your own self. So they don't need to come to take care of you, but they will also have the ability to take care of you. So in your family meetings, you will have arguments on who is buying daddy a car for this year. So your children are fighting and say, but you let the other one buy you this car. Now why don't you let me take you to Dubai? Those are the conversations you will have when they are prepared children and you're already prepared for yourself. So prepare for yourself and prepare your children.
Thank you so much, Apollo. Thank you, Apollo, for taking the time to speak with us, and for all of those that shared clips of what they're doing at home to teach their children about their finances during this time. Thank you for your contributions, and thank you to the audience that's at home watching us. That brings us to the end of our show. Coming up is NTV Weekend Edition.